Welcome to another episode of Blade Clan Health and Fitness. I'm Brian. This is Dave.
And we research it so you don't got ow, fuck. Whoa. Oh.
We're getting set to talking about steroids, but unfortunately we've had a small setback with Dave.
Yeah, y'all. Sad fact is I snapped my shit up. I had a lot of time to think this week while I've been laid up. And I wanted to take some time to talk to y'all about some of those questions and issues that this brought to my mind.
Yeah, I can honestly say I haven't seen you so introspective.
Damn it, B, I told you I ain't introspective. I'm all about the bitches. But we ain't got time to debate preferences. The first thing that came to mind is why. As in, why did this shit happen to me? Which led me to think, maybe it's 'cause you too fat, Dave.
I wasn't at the gym when all this happened, but from what I was told, this is how it happened. Dave loaded up 10 tiny, itty-bitty, little...
Alright, B, to get it. It was light.
Pounds. That's our usual warm-up weight for one of our arm exercises. And
I fucked it up. I fucked up good. I bent or twisted or moved my body wrong, and I wound up on my back faster than a hooker on payday.
Which was not because of weight or body fat. Anyone could have done it. Even I could have had this happen to me.
Yeah, but you fat too, B.
Those must be some pretty good painkillers. I think you're hallucinating.
No more than usual, B. But according to the BMI, you fat.
Oh, right. That bullshit measuring index, or body mass index as it's usually known. That system is being used incorrectly and is completely outdated. It was invented by a Belgian mathematician as a sociology experiment. If you go by that scale, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his physical prime was obese. Today, celebrities like Brad Pitt and Michael Jordan are overweight, and George Clooney is obese. The only thing the BMI measures is your height and your weight, not taking into account for anything else in your body fat, but fat and organs.
Okay, so that shit ain't no good then. So how are we gonna figure out who's in shape and who's not?
If you want to see something, use your eyes, man. Example like comedian Ralphie May, or the character of Fat Bastard from Austin Powers movies are good examples of people he considered morbidly obese to our modern aesthetic of viewpoints. People like me would be considered muscular or average depending on which gym you go to. And Dave, you're still fat.
Yeah, that shit's harsh but fair. And you know how I got like this? I'm about to say some shit that's probably going to get me alienated from all the fat people I know and hang out with. But I got like this by eating too much and not exercising enough.
That's the easy way to say it. But here at Blade Clan Health and Fitness, we prefer to actually use science to help us explain things. Before you launch into a rant that could cost us a few fans, let me science it up. No action figures this time. Our bodies store anything we eat and don't use as fat, otherwise known as adipose tissue. Now, honestly, being fat isn't always a bad thing. Our primitive instincts are cued to two things:
fucking and eating. The only reason any animal on Earth, up to and including human beings, continues to thrive on this planet is because it's buzzing in the back of our brains like a whisper. Eat. Fuck. Eat. Fuck.
The reason the obesity epidemic is a problem is because food has become more plentiful and less expensive. And
not as healthy. You know, with the addition of corn syrup and other cheaper but less healthy additives. So there's more to eat for everybody, but it's not as good for you. Eat. Fuck. Eat. Fuck.
So being fat or overweight isn't necessarily a bad thing. It stores energy, insulates against cold, and well, and how do I put this? Dave, you want to try?
Sex appeal, motherfuckers. You love bitches with big titties? Fuck yeah, who doesn't? You like big hips and asses? Ooh, I love them. I love big butts. And I cannot lie. Well, all those great things happen because of fat deposits. Because that little whisper in our brains is telling us that the big hips and tatas on that bitch you staring at in the club is all primed and ready for baby making. It's all eat, fuck.
Crude but honest. So yes, sometimes being fat or overweight is good.
Yeah, but here's the thing that's going to get me in some trouble. Being fat is a choice. There. I said that shit. I am a fat white male with brown hair, blue eyes, and a big swinging dick. Only one of those things I can fix. And I'm working on it. You can say all you want about genetics and metabolism, but it's a choice. I got fat by eating way too much and then sitting on my ass all day. That was a choice. And it's a choice that's causing me more trouble now than I like. Now, did I twist my back because I'm fat? No. That didn't have nothing to do with it. But when you're face down on the floor, writhing in agony, trying to drag yourself back up to your knees so you can pretend to be a human being again, and you can't, you might find yourself thinking like I did. This shit would be a lot easier to do if I was a little lighter. So yeah, I ain't saying being fat is bad. I like being fat. Affords me luxuries like getting a seat on the bus. People don't want to sit next to the fat guy, so I get a lot of room. But it does make things harder. And while there still ain't no real conclusive proof that being thin means you're automatically healthy, because skinny people have heart attacks too. There's just some times when the mechanics of the human body can be worn down from carrying around too much weight. You know, you get bad knees and a bad back. I know all the extra strain on my back right now from the excessive weight on the front of my body is doing more harm than good. I've even heard of people getting so overweight their ankles blow the fuck out. And it's all because of choices. Try and tell me any reason why you can't lose weight. Try it right now. Hell, leave a comment telling me why you can't lose weight. I'll shoot it down so fast it'll make your head spin. I've heard them all because in the end I've said them all. I'll be the first one to choose a calzone over a well-balanced dinner of chicken and veggies. You offer me celery sticks or a candy bar, I'll slap you with the celery stick and take the candy bar. You want me to go on a 5-mile hike or watch an episode of Dexter? I'll be watching that psycho cut people up all damn day. With that little voice in my head going, eat, fuck, eat.
Okay, we get it.
Go.
That's why he has me here to help him keep him on track.
That's right. Having B around keeps me honest with myself and helps me stay responsible for my decisions. It ain't easy being fat. Not at all. Let me drop a fact on you. It's a hard fact that you ain't gonna like. Fat people ain't a race. We ain't a religion. We're not a product of a birth defect. We're not a sexual preference. That's all shit you're born with. We're just people. People who made choices. You know, it's kind of an ugly situation when you shine a light on it. But because we're just people, we got no protection from the world except each other. You can't walk into a room of assorted people shouting out racial slurs without somebody punching you dead in your fucking jaw. But if some skinny fuck yells, "Hey, fatties," a group of fat people in the middle of that same assorted group of people, only our fellow fat people will come to our aid. And that's only if they weren't too busy being all embarrassed and ashamed. Now, there's a lot of fat acceptance groups out there, and I ain't against them. But they all seem to have the same victim complex about their situation. As if their genetics and metabolisms are boogeymen out to get them. Now, I ain't here to judge nobody, because I ain't squeaky clean. But we all need to start being honest with ourselves. We choose what we eat and how much. We choose to exercise or slack off. I could stand outside the McDonald's across the street from my apartment all goddamn day, and not one motherfucker would come out and say, "Get in here and eat, fatty." I choose to go in, order the double quarter pounder with cheese and Big Mac sauce. with a large drink and fries and 3 chocolate chip cookies, instead of going home a half a block away across the street and fixing myself a ham and cheese sandwich. I choose to go to McDonald's and drink sweet tea instead of unsweetened tea or a diet soda or fuck even water. I choose to then go sit on my couch and watch a movie. Or maybe I'll watch a TV show. I'm fat because I made choices. When I was a kid, I chose to go back for seconds and sometimes even thirds at dinner. Me and my folks ate big portions and didn't always choose the best food. My grandma used to give me $1 every day to pick up a snack at the store. Because that's what grandmas do. They give you money for snacks, or they just give you snacks. I chose to take that $1, buy 4 bags of potato chips that cost 25 cents each, mix them in a big bowl and eat that shit while I was watching my cartoons or playing video games. I could blame the neighborhood. It wasn't really safe to go out and play, but I could have done it anyway. I could blame the snack food company, for not educating me properly on what their foods were doing. But ultimately, I made those decisions. Now those choices are catching up with me.
Yes, making the right choices is important. Just look at Jared, Subway's old favorite marketing gimmick.
He chose to walk into a Subway restaurant every day. He chose to eat responsibly, denying himself the fun of condiments and additional toppings for his sandwiches. He made other choices too, like taking the stairs instead of the escalator or the elevator, like drinking water instead of soda. Those choices are ultimately what made him skinny. But guess what, folks?
There's a good reason he's not in Subway commercials anymore.
He gained it all back. Maybe it was because he started back into old habits or dipped a bit too much into other fast food franchises. Either way, he couldn't keep up with the program, so he gained it back.
Backsliding is a common occurrence. You go on a diet plan to lose a set amount of weight, and you reach your goal. Then what?
Statistically speaking, most people wind up gaining it back. So here's another bit of unpleasant all my chubby brothers won't want to hear. It's easier to put on weight than take it off. It's kind of a dumb common sense thing to say, but that's the bottom line. For me to look like I did now, I had to go into a rigorous training program. I had to overeat at all 3 meals a day. I had to snack a lot between those meals and endure countless grueling hours sitting in front of a TV or a computer. And believe me, I saw gains fast. Now to try and take it off, I have to spend 6 days a week in the gym, getting sore and sweaty and tired for about an hour a day. And it's working. But sadly, it's going to take a lot more to trim it off than it did to slap it on. A lot of overweight people lack the kind of discipline and dedication it takes to lose weight without surgery. And even that takes its own form of discipline and dedication. My folks been seeing the same thing. When they got married, they were what we'd all consider average. Shit, my pops, he was actually a skinny bodyguard for a local disco star back in the day, doing kung fu and shit, like something out of a Bruce Lee movie. Now they're both overweight. Mom's got that gastric bypass and she's doing good. But she still got to live up to that commitment.
That's true. There are still a lot of people out there who undergo risky and expensive surgeries, which can only be done once, and still manage to end up right where they started.
But I've managed, I learned a very important lesson reading a book not too long ago.
So you read a book, motherfucker?
Hells yeah, I did. Behind the Paint by Violent J. One of the members of ICP. One part in particular spoke to me very personally.
Oh, I can't wait to hear how the clowns inspired you.
This is for Cyrus B. Well, you see, he used to love to run as a hobby. He'd just get up and run. At one point, he found himself sitting on the couch, overweight and disgusted with himself. He was all kinds of depressed, going nowhere, and hating his life. So he made a choice. He put the chips down and forced himself to go out for a run. He chose to ignore all the excuses his mind came up to avoid running, and he just chose to go out and do it no matter what. That's what it's all about. It's all about hard work. You're either up for it or you're not. And if you're not, that's okay. But be honest with yourself about it. Don't hide behind the some people are just born to be fat nonsense. Or the metabolism self-delusion. We already talked about all that stuff in previous shows. It was choices that got you into it, and if you really want, it's choices that'll get you out of it. If not, cool out and enjoy your lifestyle.
Wow, I didn't realize you're so passionate about this.
You know something, B? Up until I spent 2 days on my back in agony, not sure if I'd ever be able to get up again, neither did I. But like I said, I ain't here to condemn my fellow fat people. I know even if I drop all the weight I want, I'm never going to look like Ryan Reynolds. I'm never going to look like Christian Bale in The Machinist. That shit just ain't in my body type. The best I can hope for is maybe look like a professional wrestler from the 80s. Back when they were in shape but still kind of puffy. Not like now when they're all shredded up. I have to ask those guys for some tips. But it ain't really about the looks. It ain't about getting skinny. It's about being healthy. I like the way I look. And I post all the sexy naked pictures on the internet to prove it. It's more about making sure my body lasts longer and I don't wind up stuck in a mobility scooter. I'm sorry we wasn't as funny like we usually are, but you know, this is a serious topic. Come on, man, it's about lunchtime. How about we get Liz to whip up some of that fish and rice?
Yeah, that sounds like a good choice. So thanks for tuning in for another episode of Blade Clan Health and Fitness.
We choose to research it so you don't gotta. Whoop whoop.